and welcome to Friendly Hour. Here we are again. And it's a beautiful day outside at the moment. And this is what we need. We need cheering up, don't we? We really, really do. It's been going on for such a long time now. This regulation, that restriction. We've all got a little bit limited. Time to get unstuck now. And start sticking together as never before. And our quote for today says, kindness is something everybody can afford to give freely. Scatter it about like confetti. Doesn't matter where it lands. It's going to do somebody a bit of good. And we've never needed kindness like that in our lives before now. We can all do something to help ourselves first and other people. So let's get on with the show. Just make yourself a cup of tea. Forget what's going on outside. Doesn't matter. It's what's going on inside that matters. And let's enjoy ourselves. We're going to go into a sing-song now, which is going to keep me singing all day long. It has me anyway. And it's great advice from Fred Astaire, no less, who says that when you're feeling a little bit down, maybe a little bit stuck, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, you start all over again. Let's sing together.
This morning I was out for a walk with the dogs, and as I turned the corner there was a big puddle, and I thought nothing of it, and I just kept walking on. It's only water. Until I found, when I was halfway through the puddle, I was stuck. I couldn't move my leg. It was stuck in the mud in the puddle. And after much pulling and tugging and nearly losing a welly, I got free. And as I proceeded on my walk, I began to think of all the phrases that we use that have the word stick or stuck, which we are in a position of at the moment. We are stuck in a rut. And I came up with a few phrases, and I thought I would share them with you. So we've got stuck in the mud, which I was, and stuck like glue. Well, although it wasn't glue, it was mud, and I couldn't get free. And when you stick something with glue, it does tend to stick firmly. But you've also got the, he's sticking to you like glue. And it means the person won't leave your side and you can't get rid of them. And I remember my parents saying to me at night when I was doing my homework, you stick in there, stick with it, and you'll get a good exams and you'll get a good job at the end. And while we're on the subject of school, you always had that stuck-up, toffee-nosed friend, didn't you, that wouldn't speak to anybody, thought they were better than everybody else. And it didn't mean that they walked about with their nose stuck up in the air. It's just a turn of phrase. The same as when somebody annoyed you, you used to say, see you, I'll wait and stick that in your pipe and smoke it. And I often remember hearing the phrase, oh, he's on a sticky wicket. It didn't actually mean he was stuck to a cricket wicket, did it? It was just that he was in a precarious position. And then you've also got that you were stuck between a rock and a hard place. And that's kind of where we are just now. Stuck in the middle, in between a rock and a hard place. Stuck because we can't move forward with the virus. But we need to stick to the matter in hand, and we need to stick together and stick it out to the end. And we will all come out safer, stronger, and maybe a wee bit wiser at the end of it. So while we're stuck in a rut, well, we're certainly not stuck for words. And coming up next is Anne in the quiz. And Anne will probably stick it to me because she's a lady who's very seldom stuck for words. So I hope you've got your pen and paper ready for the quiz and you don't get stuck with too many of the answers. So here's Anne with your quiz.
Well, a very good afternoon to you all again. And here we are, well into the season of mellow fruitfulness, and I wonder if you've been maybe making jam, you've been collecting brambles, or have you been making apple jelly? Have you maybe got an apple tree in your garden? Have you been harvesting the tomatoes that haven't turned red and maybe making some green tomato chutney? I've made that once. It was quite a footer. It is delicious though. Fortunately, most of our tomatoes have turned red this time, so there's not really enough to make a green tomato chutney. Anyway, let's get on with this week's quiz. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not as easy as the last couple of ones have been. It's not too tricky. There's one wee curveball in there. We'll see how you go on. So, settle yourself down, get your pen and paper ready, get the old grey cells working, and I'll be back in a couple of seconds with questions 1 and 2. And what you're looking for this time is they've all got friend or friendliness or friendly in the title. So that's a good clue. So I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Right, here we go with number 1. Now this one is quite easy. So you'll be all right, you'll go off the starting blocks. Give you a wee minute to write that one down. And here's number 2. Alright, I'll be back in a couple of seconds with 3 and 4. Okay, here we go with number 3. And I think this is the one that you might find a wee bit trickier. So I'm going to play you a wee bit extra of this one because it's that kind of song where you go, oh I know it, oh I do know it, I just can't think what it is. So I'll give you a wee bit longer to work it out. Here we go. Right, see how you got on with it. Okay, that's enough thinking time for that one. Here's number 4. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of seconds with the last 2. Okay, here we are with number 5. Right, write that one down. And we're at the last one. See what you make of this one. Okay, so that's all 6, and remember, they've all got something to do with the word friend. So good luck, and I'll be back in a wee while with the answers. See you soon.
Good afternoon, friends of the Friendly Hour. Hope you're all keeping well. Both me and myself are doing fine, so we hope you're the same. The first song is one that you will all know, I'm quite sure. It's quite an old one. It was sung by Bing Crosby, Jim Reeves, and a host of others. And it's called Dear Hearts and Gentle People. So here we go, we hope. If the dear hearts, gentle people who live in my hometown, I want those dear hearts, gentle people who never ever let you down. They read the good book from Friday till Monday. That's how the weekend goes. I've got a dream house I'll build there one day, picket fence and rambling rose. I feel so welcome each time that I return, with my happy heart keeps laughing like a cloud. I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live and love in my hometown. They book from Friday till Monday. That's how the weekend goes. I've got a dream house, I'll build it one day, with picket fence and rambling rose. I feel so welcome each time that I return, that my happy heart keeps laughing like a cloud. I love those dear hearts, gentle people who live and love in my hometown.
Well, thank you for that, Peter. That was lovely. A golden oldie, that one. A blast from the past. And sad to say that I remember it well. Now it's time for our 7-word challenge. Remember, we asked you to send in videos, and please keep them coming because our supplies are running low. But 4 people have very kindly offered to give us their thoughts this week. And it's just 7 words on how you have felt during these difficult times, caused by the coronavirus, caused by lockdown, caused by being furloughed, caused by not seeing friends and family. All these difficult times we're going through, and all we're looking for is 7 words, no explanation, nothing else to say, just 7 words. And please try and send some in to us. And our 4 people who are on the show today are Gavin, and Myrid, and David, and Katie. So let's hear their thoughts on the 7-word challenge.
Waiting, scared, kindness, love, family, helplessness, patience.
Scared, confused, uncertain, creativity, exercise, housework and relief.
Scared, accepting, creativity, baking, worried, music and relief.
Fear, patience, anticipation, endurance, confusion, uncertainty, unknown.
Well, those 7 words were interesting, weren't they? Wonderful to see some young people giving us their thoughts too. But it's quite surprising. I mean, I'm actually married to Gavin. I've been married to him for 40 years come Christmas. And a couple of his words made me think, really? I've never heard you say that before. It just shows you we don't know what's going on in people's minds. It doesn't matter how long we've known them. But we're talking about sticking together. And as we said at the top of the show, kindness is a great glue. And we should scatter it like confetti. Because it doesn't matter where it lands, it's going to do somebody some good. But you know, kindness overlooks an awful lot. We're going through strange times at the moment, where it's entirely possible to get a bit tetchy at times, grumpy maybe, and get totally fed up with the whole affair. And you know, kindness overlooks all that in a person. If somebody's down, kindness doesn't say, oh, what's the matter with you? Kindness recognises that they maybe need leaving alone or just talk too gently. Kindness does that kind of thing. It's a little bit like love, isn't it? It actually believes all things, hopes all things, overlooks an awful lot. And at this time, when sometimes we do get a bit frayed at the edges, it's very essential. It's not the time for hissy fits or taking umbrage, which I always think's a wonderful expression. Maybe it's just me, but I can actually see someone lifting their umbrella and marching out. That's just me, of course. Too much imagination. But it's not the time for that. You know, there's been a terrible rise in domestic violence because of lockdown, when people have been too close together with no outlet. And it's entirely understandable. Even, I'm not talking about domestic violence, but even a wee row here and there can develop because of the circumstances. And you know, a wee dose of kindness can stop it getting out of hand. And your loved ones, people that you don't live with, but your loved ones who maybe you're not seeing as much as you can, just kindness to them. Help them where you can. Just love them. And love people that you don't know very well either, because everybody needs this kindness now. For us all to get through it unscathed and still speaking to each other, we do need this. And the other thing we need is humour. If ever there was a time for a sense of humour, it is now. The silly jokes that are going about, especially on Facebook, they're wonderful. And thank you to whoever puts them on, because they start you laughing, even though you don't feel like it. But they do make you laugh, and that breaks the tension. And that's what an awful lot of this is about. When tension builds up, you need something to break it. If some people laugh and some people have a row, it's all the same thing. I think laughing's much better, having a row. Sticking together is very important. You may actually be isolated. You may actually be on your own, which is not nice. I understand that. So, even so, you can phone somebody. You can send them a letter. A handwritten letter's best, because you can read it lots of times. Put it in the mantelpiece. You can always look at it and think, somebody cares. One of the most important things in the world is that someone, you know that somebody, somewhere, it's quite hard to say, cares about you. And that's what kindness does. It ensures that people know that they're not forgotten, that somebody does care. And if you've done that, you've gone a long way in the sticking together process. So, if you do feel stuck at times, and it would be easy, it would actually, always remember, it's only outside that you're stuck. Inside, in here, you're not stuck at all. You've got your imagination, you've got your hopes for the future, you've got your plans. If you haven't got a plan, get one. What are you going to do after this is all over? Where are you going to go first? Where do you fancy going on holiday? What hobby might you take up? Start making plans. Even if you can't do anything concrete about them just now, start thinking about it. That'll keep your spirits up. So, we don't know what's going to happen next. But you know something? Doesn't matter. As long as you're all right inside, as long as you know you're loved, as long as you know you're not forgotten, as long as you're doing your bit to scatter the confetti of kindness, you'll get through this. You've got through everything else. I mean, war, plague, pestilence, everything you can possibly think of. You're going to get through this as well. And at the end of it, we're going to have a party. It's going to be fabulous. There's going to be everything you shouldn't eat at it, and we're going to eat it all. We're going to celebrate. So start thinking about that. What are you going to bake to bring to the party? It's going to be great. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to introduce Peter, who's been absolutely marvellous throughout this, singing for us, helping us with music. He's been an absolute star. And here he is again. Go on, Peter. Give us a song.
Hello again, folks. This is me back again for my second song. This next one I'm going to ask you at the end who sung it. We'll do what Dan did. It's not as easy as the first one. It's a wee bit newer. However, I'll let you know at the end who it was. See if you can remember. Here we go. I have an never-ending love for you. From now on, that's all I wanna do. From the first time we met, I knew I have a never-ending love for you. I've got a never-ending love for you. From now on, that's all I wanna do. From the first time we met, I knew I have a never-ending love for you. After all this time of being alone, we can love one another, live for each other from now on. From now on, it's so good I can hardly stand it. A never-ending love for you. From now on, that's all I wanna do. From the first time we met, I knew I'll sing my never-ending song of love for you. After all this time of being alone, we can love one another, live for each other from now on. From now on, it's so good I can hardly stand it. A never-ending love for you. From now on, that's all I wanna do. From the first time we met, I knew I'll sing a never-ending song of love for you. There you go. It was who? Yes, it was the New Seekers. So thank you very much for joining me this afternoon, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye for now. Bye.
Now we come to that part in the programme where we do absolutely nothing. We just kick off our slippers, sit back and relax. We just start to feel calm, as cool as a cucumber, nonchalant. Let's look at the picture, look at the words, clear our mind of everybody and everything. And then let's get carried away on this cloud of calm that is a minute's peace.
thanks again to Peter for that golden oldie, Dear Hearts and Gentle People. Jings, I think that must be about as old as one of the ones I've got in the quiz. So, to the quiz answers. Here we go. Now, the first one actually was easy. I'm sure you all got it. It was a Beatles song, and it was With a Little Help from My Friends, and it was written by, of course, Lennon and McCartney. Number 2 was If My Friends Could See Me Now, from the musical, and also there was a film, Sweet Charity. Now, number 3. I think this would have been the tricky one. So, in 1956, Gary Cooper made a film, and that film was nominated for an Academy Award, and the film was called Friendly Persuasion. And in the same year, Pat Boone released the song. Now, sometimes it's called The I Love, but its actual title is, and those words are in the lyrics, Friendly Persuasion. So there's a wee bit extra info maybe you didn't know. I don't think I've ever seen it. I know who Gary Cooper is, but I don't think I've ever seen the film. Let me know if you have. Now, number 4. A Carole King classic. Everybody knows this song. It's called You've Got a Friend. Number 5 was sung by Marilyn Monroe in a 1953 film called Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Do they? And the song was called Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. And the last one, number 6, was a trio of 3, and I can't remember who they were, but it was from the film and the stage musical called Anything Goes, with the music and lyrics by Cole Porter, and the song was Friendship. So there we go. With a little help from my friends, If My Friends Could See Me Now, Friendly Persuasion, You've Got a Friend, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and Friendship. So please let me know. The folk do let me know whether they've got them all right, or they sometimes complain if it was too hard. They never complain if it's too easy, strangely enough. But let me know how you got on. And I look forward to bringing you another quiz the next time. I'm sure I can think up something else for you. In the meantime, I happen to know that Shirley has got a poem for you about teamwork. So I'm going to hand you over to Shirley, and we'll look forward to hearing her poem.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be back amongst you all on Friendly Hour. I hope you're all well. Now, a long time ago, there used to be a Friendly Hour in the Muir Church Hall. A lot of people went along, they had a cup of tea and a chat and a bit of entertainment. And all was well until the coronavirus struck. And when the coronavirus struck, that was the Friendly Hour stuck. It just couldn't happen. But 4 of us got together and decided we wouldn't be stuck. We would put a show on online, a virtual Friendly Hour. And we had to meet up virtually, come up with ideas, and 3 of the women knew each other. I didn't know any of the other 3 women, and we had to come together and kind of gel, because it just wouldn't have worked if we didn't. But we've been going for a good few months now, and I would say we're more than gelling. We're all friends now. And it's because we've all pulled together with the same ideas to produce this show. Now somebody just needs to come up with a line or a phrase, and we're up and running. We're away recording our bits for the show. And that's wonderful, and it couldn't have happened without teamwork. And I found this wee poem which just epitomises that. It's by a guy called Edgar Albert Guest, and it's entitled Teamwork. It's all very well to have courage and skill, and it's fine to be counted a star. But the single deed with its touch of thrill doesn't tell the man you are. For there's no lone hand in the game we play. We must work to a bigger scheme. And the thing that counts in the world today is how you pull as a team. They may sound your praise and call you great. They may single you out for fame. But you must work with your running mate, or you'll never win the game. Oh, never the work of life is done by the man with a selfish dream. For the battle is lost or the battle is won by the spirit of the team. You may think it's fine to be praised for skill, but a greater thing to do is to set your mind and set your will on the goal that's just in view. It's helping your fellow man to score when his chances hopeless seem. It's forgetting self till the game is o'er and fighting for the team. Now, Scottish Ballet, they had the same idea. At least their chief choreographer, Sophie Laplante, did. She decided that they would not be stuck. I know that ballets can't show any shows today. Opera can't. No plays, no musicals. It's a shame for the arts industry. But Sophie came up with this idea, using the 36 furloughed ballet dancers in their own homes. She came up with a dance plan and they performed it using doors. Everyone used a door in their home. And Eve McConaughey, who is the graphic designer and award-winning filmmaker with Scottish Ballet, she had the job of trying to edit this film. And using sophisticated software, it has turned out wonderful. So I'm going to let you see it just now. It's Scottish Ballet and it's called Indoors. The choreographer is Sophie Laplante and the graphic designer, filmmaker is Eve McConaughey. Let's watch it now.
Bist du mir nun ganz gegeben? Nun bin ich dir ganz gegeben. Nun so sei mein liebes Weibchen. Nun so sei mein Herzenstäubchen. Mein liebes Weibchen, welche Freude wird das sein? Welche Freude wird das sein? Wenn die Götter uns bedenken. Wenn die Götter uns bedenken. Unser liebe Kinder schenken. Unser liebe Kinder schenken. So liebe kleine Kinderlein. Kinderlein. Kinderlein, Kinderlein, so liebe kleine Kinderlein, so liebe kleine Kinderlein. Erst eine kleine Papageno, dann eine kleine Papageno, dann wieder eine Papageno, dann wieder eine Papageno, 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 Papageno. Es ist das höchste der Gefühle. 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 Wenn viele Papageno, 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 Eltern werden sein. Papageno, 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 Eltern werden sein. Eltern werden sein. Eltern werden sein. Papageno, 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 Papageno,
Do you feel better? You're bound to. After a wee switch off and a cup of tea, everything's always better. Our thanks today go to Myrid and Gavin and Katie and David and Shirley and Karen and Anne and Peter and you for watching us. Because if you weren't watching us, it wouldn't be so good, would it? Absolutely not. There's always a way around things. Never be too stuck. That's what faith is for. Faith doesn't make things easy, it just makes them possible. Use the glue of kindness to stick together with those you love. And some of the people who just need you to love them. There's plenty of them about, isn't there? So we invite you to our Sunday service, Sunday, 11 o'clock, Facebook, YouTube, just like this, and our next friendly hour, which is going to be the 21st of October. 2 o'clock, always remember we pre-record, so you don't have to be there bang on time. You can pick us up any time after that. So, a wee blessing for you. You have permission to rest. You are not responsible to fix everything that's broken. You do not have to try to make everybody happy. Just for now, take time for you. Take time to replenish your soul. And may God bless us all. And we'll see you next time. Bye now. Stay unstuck.